Yo, big kids back up in here. Rapperholics is a fool, man. Rapperholics is a fool. We about to get it, so I ain't gonna do no spoiling or none of that. Before we get into it, y'all make sure y'all pick up a copy of Street Dad, Geek Dad, Avoiding the Manufactured Mindset, written by me, Big Kish. The link will be in the description for purchase. This video is about the game, hating on Kendrick Lamar, man. And he doesn't like that Kendrick Lamar got the #1 spot. That's what it all boils down to. Now he's all up in the complex list of the best rappers from LA. And we about to get into it. Y'all know I'm like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
Ladies and gentlegrams, today's episode is recorded in a
red rose white ceiling. I'm in that red rose white ceiling. I be rocking my Kobe's. I be in a red rose white ceiling. Red rose white ceiling. Red rose white ceiling. Red rose white ceiling. I ain't freestyling in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm polishing my skills off. Let me see what I can come up with. Let me see. Let's check it. Look, red rose white ceiling.
the game has got back on it.
Yeah, I could see once or twice. I could see twice. I could see 2 or 3 times. I could see 2 or 3 times. You filtered out the same joint about 2 or 3 times. But you going around saying the same joint, you know you on camera. You know you on camera. Now, if this was back in the day, I'd be cool. They did that a lot back in the day. They recycled. But use the up-to-date ninja. Use the up-to-date ninja. Nah, bro.
On Instagram to tell us how he's feeling, hilariously hating, haunted by the love Los Angeles lens Lamar. Yes, Jayceon Taylor, the documentary maker, is the West's best hater. Sad he didn't reach his full potential, and possibly because his bread's low, he's now resorted to beefing legends of the West Coast. His confidence lower than the white ceiling on his red rose.
Red rose white ceiling.
Now make that like and subscribe button glisten. Open your eyes and ears and listen to the latest tale of the game acting more immature than his children. Now, ladies and gentlegrams, we got some very serious
I thought you was going to add the red rose white ceiling. That makes
issues to unpack about our good friend Mr. Red Rose White Ceiling.
Red rose white ceiling.
See, the game played the game in the exact opposite way that he should have on all fronts. I mean, if you break it down, this man came into the game 20 years ago selling 500,000 copies in the first week with his debut album. He had Eminem behind him, 50 Cent behind him, Dr. Dre behind him. His debut album was a classic off the rip. I think it's like 5 times platinum. Do you know how hard it is for your debut album to go 5 times platinum? I think the game sold more in his first week with the documentary than Kanye West did with the College Dropout in his first week.
Wow.
And they both came out around the same time. That's why I'm bringing them up. And both of them made some horrible decisions, which led them both to become the 2 biggest haters in hip-hop right now. And they both had so much potential to change the game when they first came in the game. And there's a lot of parallels between them because while both of them had major cosigns coming into hip-hop, Kanye, of course, with Jay-Z backing him, the game with Dr. Dre and 50 Cent backing him. I say that they both came into the game with the odds stacked against them because, while of course Kanye didn't embody the gangster persona that dominated that era within hip-hop, the game most definitely did. However, what separated him was his West Coast lineage. Back then, 2005, there wasn't really much noise coming out of the West Coast, right? Of course, 90s legends like Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, they were kind
The game always wanted 50 Cent spot, too. He always wanted 50 Cent spot. He wanted that approval from Dr. Dre as well.
Entering the later stages of their career, you had legends like Tupac, who of course tragically lost his life, and it was really New York and the South that had hip-hop in a chokehold in this 2000s era. 50 Cent, Jay-Z, The Diplomats, Rockefeller, then in the South you had Outkast, Lil Wayne, Ludacris, Jeezy, T.I., etc. There wasn't a single rapper that emerged in the 2000s that hailed from the West Coast and embodied LA culture and sound aside from the game. In the 2010s, we'd see a reemergence from the West Coast with the likes of Kendrick, all of TDE really, YG, Nipsey Hussle, DJ Mustard, etc. But in the 2000s, it was all about the South and the East. And the only one with the West Coast on their back was the game. And again, he did a great job at the beginning of restoring the feeling that we got from West Coast legends in the 90s, giving hope to West Coast hip-hop fans that a new era was emerging emerging, and he most definitely had the torch, right? His debut album, documentary, boom, instant classic. He gets dropped from G-Unit. The odds are even more stacked against him, because at first it was just, okay, this West Coast rapper is trying to fit in an era where New York and the South are dominating. Now it's like, nah, this West Coast rapper who was signed to probably the biggest record label at the time and had his biggest hits given to him by the biggest artist at the time, 50 Cent, was now dropped from that label, excommunicated. But he doubles down, comes back with a dope project, The Doctor's Advocate. But after The Doctor's Advocate is where things kind of went downhill. Now, this video isn't necessarily to break down, you know, the downfall of the game or analyze his whole career. I could do a video if you guys want where we kind of take a look at the key elements that held the game back throughout his career. But this video is more so to highlight that before there was a Kendrick Lamar, the game had the opportunity to have the West Coast on his back.
See, the game, he let his emotions get involved. Siri, nobody's talking to you. Calm down. Yeah, the game had his emotions involved. And he wanted to be the big shot in G-Unit. He wanted his own G-Unit style deal. But nah, it wasn't your time. This is why you must wait for your time. Everybody got their time to shine. When you try to rush your time, bruh, you going against the universe, bruh. It don't work like that, man.
And be a leader of his generation. What Kanye is to Chicago, game could have been to LA. What Drake is to Canada, game could have been to LA. What Wayne is to New Orleans, game could have been to LA. What Kendrick is right now to LA, this all could have been the game. But it was hate, jealousy, and lies that left the game's career tumbling like dead flies, or dry like an old piece of rye. So let's unpack why the game is the biggest hater.
I'm in that red rose, white ceiling.
So, Complex Magazine recently published a list of the top 50 LA rappers of all time. If you know anything about Complex, then you know that this
This is a beautiful edit, by the way. This is a great edit right here.
list is about to be terrible. But you also know that they probably make these lists terrible on purpose, because not only do they rage bait the fans, they also rage bait rappers. We saw Wale back in 2013 call into Complex, and I forget, he might have even gone in the building, the Complex building, to give the staff hell for not ranking his album that year, The Gifted, as one of the best rap albums of the year. Last year around this time, they ranked the best Atlanta rappers of all time. I had a video on that. You guys could check it out. But this year, they're ranking the top 50 LA rappers. And already, to start the list off, it's looking horrible. They have Blueface at number 50 of the best LA rappers of all time. And the reason for why he belongs on this list is because he quote-unquote became a viral sensation for blending an unorthodox rap style with hit-making prowess and gonzo antics. So I didn't know that all you need to do to become one of the best rappers out of LA is concoct a bunch of antics. But the game and Blueface don't only share a manager in WAC 100, they also share the fact that both of them concoct a lot of antics. The game has just been doing it for a lot longer. So maybe for that reason alone, he deserves a higher placement on this list. And I want to take you guys through a couple of the absurdities of this list. Firstly, Ab Soul from TDE, of course, is at number 43. Now, maybe you can...
Bruh. Ab Soul is at 43. Do they listen to music, or do they just skim through it? Ab Soul's metaphors is out of this world. There's a reason why people talk about him. And this is why people don't respect him, because they don't listen to the music. The ones who don't respect and say, yeah, Ab Soul, oh man, he's whack. They're not listening. They don't listen. They're not listening.
You can make the argument Ab Soul doesn't necessarily have the commercial appeal or chart-topping success or numbers to back up a higher placement on this list. But let's take a look at a couple rappers who make the list long above Ab Soul. And you guys tell me if they got it right here. So keep in mind, Ab Soul's at 43. At number 30, you have 03 Greedo. Do you guys think 03 Greedo is a better rapper than Ab Soul? And I mean, shout out to J-Rock, but they have him at number 29 in terms of the best LA rappers of all time. I think personally, Ab Soul definitely ranks higher than him, but you guys let me know in the comments. Hey, this is even more absurd. I'm kind of going through this one by one. I haven't actually fully reviewed this list except for the top 10, and that's why Game is mad, which we're going to touch on very shortly.
This is the thing. You got surface level rappers and you got technical rappers and what's in between. When you get to the technological situation, Ab Soul is very technical, and you got a bunch of lazy people that don't want to listen to it. But you got surface level rappers who just the cat hat, rip rap, dap, pap, them type of rappers. They labeling them as they messed that list all up, y'all. They messed it all up. But they knew to have Kendrick Lamar at number 1. That's the only thing they got right. That's the only thing they got. Well, they who else? Who else they had it? Yeah, they messed it all up. I ain't even. The list is too long for me to try to figure out anything.
Shortly, but at number 28 is Roddy Ricch. You guys think Roddy Ricch deserves to be 15 placements above Ab-Soul in terms of the best LA rappers of all time? At number 26 is Doja Cat. Is Doja Cat? I didn't even know Doja Cat was from LA. They say her reason for being on this list is she's the most commercially successful female rapper to come out of LA. And honestly, that's pretty fair, but it's like, what the hell has Doja Cat actually done for LA rap music, right? Maybe I'm sleeping on her, and she's definitely talented, but I mean, to me, like, I've only really heard her pop music, right? Does she deserve to be this much higher on the list compared to an Ab-Soul or a J-Rock or Daz Dillinger? One spot above her, you have Tyga. Then Draco the Ruler, Vince Staples, Earl Sweatshirt. Number 17, we have Schoolboy Q. At number 15, you got YG. At number 14, you got Exhibit. At number 13, Corrupt. 12, MC8. And number 11 is none other than The Game. So you can probably imagine already off the rip why he's a little bit pissed off, right? I mean, number 11, whether you think he deserves higher or lower, I mean, to put him one spot below the top 10 is definitely sending a very clear message here. Like, hey, Game, you're a great rapper, right? Almost the best, but not quite there. You never truly got quite there, buddy. That's like, bro, I remember like in grade 9. By the way, in Canada, we don't do like A, B's, and C grades in school. It's like percentage. So you had to get a 75% in math if in grade 10, you wanted to be in like the higher group of math. If you got under a 75, you were in the lower group of math. So my teacher in grade 9, she did not like me, right? And so I'm doing my exam, whatever. I get it back. I get a 73%. It's like, bro, you couldn't have found 2% worth of points to give me just so I could have been in like the upper tier, the higher levels of math class for grade 10 and all that. Like I had to go to summer school to do the higher levels of math so I could catch up just because she couldn't give me the extra 2%. That's
You don't want to hear about my report card. You do not want to hear about my report card, man.
The educational equivalent of putting Game at number 11 on the greatest rappers of LA list, right? And of course, Game was not happy about this. He went on a massive Instagram rant as he normally does, but let's look at the top 10 real quick and see if he deserves a spot above any of these rappers. So at number 10, you had Nipsey Hussle. Number 9 was Eazy-E. Number 8 is Be Real. 7 is Ice-T. Number 6, DJ Quick. 5, Tyler, the Creator. That's kind of interesting. And I think that's recency bias, to be honest. Like, I would argue that The Game has a better classic album than Tyler, the Creator. If you want to give Tyler a classic, you could say maybe Flower Boy, maybe Igor, but like, the documentary clears both those albums. Then you had Doctor's Advocate, Jesus Piece, the documentary 2, 2.5. Like, these are all very strong albums and have that classic LA sound, right? Like, is Tyler really that much better of an LA rapper than The Game? I don't know. At number 4, Dr. Dre. That makes sense completely. Number 3, Ice Cube. Completely makes sense. Number 2, Snoop Dogg. And number 1 is none other than Kendrick Lamar. And this is why I think The Game was the only rapper to respond to this list, because The Game has had a little bit of a dilemma with Mr. Duckworth, all right, for the last few years now. There has been jealousy there, lingering and tingling and flingling and fingering. See, The Game has always been very open.
Pause. Big pause.
Been very accepting, very, I don't know the right word, but he's always embraced LA artists, especially the ones who are younger than him. He passed Kendrick that torch at the House of Blues in 2011. He had Kendrick early on before Section 80 on his album, the Red Album.
Some people could hide their jealousy as well by doing things for the person that they're jealous about, just so everybody won't see the jealousy. People do that. People do that.
Or maybe it came out around the same time as Section 80. They have a song together. I think it's called The City or My City. That was an amazing song. I haven't heard that song in ages, though. But Kendrick Loki washes The Game on that track. That was, again, early on, like 2011. He's embraced Nipsey Hussle, Tyga, YG, Tyler, the Creator early on. I mean, even has a song with Ray Vaughn from like September of 2024. That was before the whole Joey Badman beef, before Ray Vaughn's debut album. So, I mean, regardless of his issues with Kendrick here, he's still on good terms with, I guess, TDE. right? Because he's working with Ray Vaughn. He's always embraced the new generation of LA talent. The game definitely shows a lot of love, but he also has a lot of hate in his heart. It's kind of like he's just a very emotional dude. And I really think Kendrick Lamar kind of embodied everything the game wanted to be, right? At the time that Kendrick Lamar became the hottest rapper on the West Coast, there wasn't much going on within the West Coast as well, right? This was around 2011, I guess you could say. The blog era was emerging, right? The game was still dropping music, but it wasn't nearly as big as his earlier years. He never really lived up to the potential, right? And then boom, Kendrick Lamar comes out with this massive major label debut album, Good Kid, Mad City. Very reminiscent to the game's album, The Documentary, right? Both incorporate that West Coast sound. Both are telling the story of the individual artist's come up. I mean, Kendrick structured Good Kid, Mad City to basically be a documentary about him growing up within Compton, and the game's album is literally called The Documentary and details his come up within Compton, right? So kind of similar in concept and very similar in terms of the success that both of them had right off the gate, right? Both of them, the major cosign from Dr. Dre right off the rip. Both of them have that Dr. Dre production on their debut albums. Their debut albums go on to do massive numbers, both Kendrick and the game. The only difference is Kendrick continued to elevate his sound, elevate his success, build off the momentum of his debut, while the game didn't necessarily do that, right? And along the way, he disrespected many of the legends that came before him, including the very same legends that helped usher him into the game.
When he get real emotional and in his feelings, he let it be known. And then after that, after a little while, he go apologize. My bad, man, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, Chuck Taylor is going to tell him, you know what I'm saying?
Too much 50 Cent, not enough West Coast rap. 50 Cent. JC. I said JC. You old ass. You old ass. I will your thug up. When have you ever heard an Eminem song in the club? I don't hear Eminem in the streets. I'm just a better rapper.
So let's get into the game's response here and why really this is all truly rooted in jealousy and animosity against Kendrick Lamar and where his career ended up versus Kendrick's. But first, Lawbreeds and Gentlegrams, unlike Drake, a bunch of you guys have been telling me you've been Anita Max winning some free cash from playing is higher than Drake on that album cover, higher than Snoop off the
Y'all go to, if y'all interested in getting money for playing games, y'all go ahead and scan that if you're interested.
all time. He is not happy about it. He posts the list on his Instagram with a bunch of detective face emojis. Then he posts Complex smoking that good dope, laughing emojis. Then he posts Game at 11 is nasty work. I'll bust that whole list, but all the motivation I needed to finish the documentary 3. Y'all got Game effed up. Now listen, hey, I mean, you guys probably don't care about my opinion. You're not asking for it, but I'll give it to you anyways. I would definitely say you can at least put the Game above Tyler, the Creator on a list like this. I would even say, to be honest, above Nipsey Hussle as well. I think the Game has better albums than Nipsey Hussle. I think he's given us bigger moments than Nipsey Hussle. Has he done as much for his community as Nipsey? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I don't know about the charity work.
I think Nipsey passed before we was able to see his fullest potential. I don't think we got to see Nip at his, you know what I'm saying? Nip would have watched everything for real. If we would have seen him elevate the way he's supposed to.
The Game has done. However, I think Nipsey took a lot of inspiration from the Game as well, right? The Game came before him. He kind of laid the groundwork, the foundation for what the YGs and the Nipseys ended up doing in the 2010s. The Game, of course, has bigger hits, better diss tracks as well, 300 bars. I definitely think they're sleeping on the Game here, but honestly, at this point in the Game's career, it kind of makes sense, man. I mean, the Game has just, over the years, burnt almost every bridge up to the level of antics year after year, set the bar lower and lower in terms of quality on each new project that he drops. I think the last one was like 3 years ago, his album Drillmatic, then Born to Rap. There was one of them where he was dissing Eminem for like 9 minutes straight on a song, but it was also like you couldn't tell if he was paying homage to Eminem or dissing him. He went on Drinks Champs saying that Kanye West in 2 weeks did more for his entire career than Dr. Dre did. He was walking around acting like Kanye was a sugar daddy, gifting him chrome Maybachs and Mustache Man sweatshirts. He lost his entire record label and the rights to his music because he got sued for $7 million from a woman who was on a game show he was hosting and decided not to show up to court to fight it. I have a whole video breaking that down if you guys want to see. And aside from the antics, aside from all the beefs, the disrespect of the very people that brought him into the game, like a Dr. Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent, the game is also a perpetual habitual liar.
We're going to get the best and most extravagant lies we've ever heard in our lives on this.
I'm crazy that Ye did more for me in the last 2 weeks than Dre did for me my whole career.
Boy, if you don't get
Yo. That's kind of like what Remy Ma was doing when she was bragging on Easy the Block Captain. Yeah, he got all of this. He got that. Unlike him, I'm telling you, when people in a new situation, boy, whether it's relationships or business, it don't matter. I did a video a long time ago on Instagram about how people will get fired from their job and then go to a new job and act like their new job is so much better. They get paid so much money. They don't do nothing. All they do is sit there. Yeah, bro, I got this new job, man. I don't do nothing. I don't do nothing at that job. People always act like their new situation is so much better, bro.
Dr. Dre out here, gang neighborhood, doing it real big.
So overall, if this happens to a tour, if it becomes a tour, would you be involved?
If it was a tour?
Yeah, if it becomes a tour.
If the money was right.
First lie, nigga. You gon' get involved, you ain't doing shit else.
That's the right answer. You're supposed to say yes.
Nah, I can't say yes to that because I got.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
Big one. He had one, Team 6. He had one blood in the AirPods. Yeah.
That's another lie, nigga. He was listening to Red Nation, not One Blood. Next lie, let's go. Let's keep going, y'all.
Because it's the game talking.
Dang.
And this is not a shot at him, but he's very extra. Like he lie.
Sitting there while this Irv edited Ashanti videos, and I'm sitting
Was
there.
your ecstasy at the time?
I don't know. I don't know.
That nigga lying, everybody knew damn well Ja Rule was off Henny and ecstasy every day.
I'm traveling everywhere I go with 70 bloods. Ain't everywhere. And
Hold on. First of all, half of my can't even get on a plane to fly out with felonies. This 70 bloods with no felonies? This lying.
We're going to get the best and most extravagant lies we've ever heard in our lives on this.
I got my shit. I'm doing some old Darkwing Duck behind the back shit. I ain't know what I...
Oh, he's Soldier Boy now. This lying.
Pistol. Okay. I started shooting at all of them. The first nigga I missed, he ducked and ran out the house. The second nigga I hit him. The third nigga I hit him. I hit him like 5 times.
In your own shit, you was like, you're 36, you still rapping?
Yeah, that was too early. I thought,
not only
from a young nigga.
a liar, this thing contradictive, man. He's not only a liar, contradictive.
You 38 and you still rapping. I don't over promote. I don't even give a f if one nigga buy it. This Drillmatic.
He don't care if one nigga buy it. This lying. He got kids, bro.
So he under 38 then.
He still got money to
And
make.
they know we down there at this point because we 70 deep. Oh, by the way, this is one of the coldest nights in New York. History. Freezing snow and in Converse. Niggas is in Converse. 6, 7 inches of snow. Niggas in Converse.
So we supposed to believe this was in.
Hold up. 7 inches of snow and you in Converses? Wow.
Converse in the snow, 6 inches. This line.
Aside from the lying, aside from the antics, aside from the beefing, aside from the disrespect.
Hey, look, man, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Hold on, let's see. I'm going to leave a link in the description, man. This is wild. This is wild. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the game, man. Y'all let me know, man. This is crazy. Y'all go look up the game on that Love Show a long time ago, too. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.